Can you imagine knowing the exact date, time, and how you were going to die? What if the only way to carry out your death would be done so in an unfavorable manner? Unfortunately, as of October 2016, that is the reality of 2,902 inmates that are currently on death row. The death penalty has been used as a form of capital punishment for over 2,000 years. The chosen methods of the death penalty have evolved from barbaric execution styles to a more tolerated process. The timeline begins with hangings and executions, followed by gas chambers and lethal injection. Let us begin with one of the first execution styles. Death penalty laws were established as early as the 17th century BC and were primarily carried out by hanging. As simple and straightforward as this method may seem, careful planning had to be done in order to ensure a proper death of the inmate being hung. For example, if the rope was too long, it could cause decapitation. If it was too short, the strangulation can last up to an agonizing 45 minutes. The rope also had to be boiled and stretched ahead of time to avoid a spring-like action. The knot should be waxed or soaked to ensure a smooth sliding. As eerie as this technique is, hanging is still used in some states today. According to deathpenaltyinfo.org, Delaware, New Hampshire, and Washington still use hanging as an option today. As time progressed, society began to ponder the death penalty and the purposes it served. Changes needed to be done in order to satisfy the needs for a more constitutional method. In the late 18th century, the first electric chair was built, executing its first inmate in 1890. Death by electric chair seems more barbaric than hanging. Up to 2,000 volts are jolted through the prisoner's body, causing violent movement of the limbs, resulting in fractures and dislocation. According to U.S. Supreme Court Justice William Brennan, and I quote, "The prisoner's eyeballs sometimes pop out and rest on his cheeks. The body turns bright red as its temperature rises, the flesh swells, and his skin stretches to the point of breaking. Sometimes the prisoner catches fire." Horrible image, right? You would think, as horrific as the results are with the electric chair, they would have done away with it. But surprisingly, 8 states still condone the use of the electric chair, but under certain circumstances. Some of those states include Alabama, Florida, Oklahoma, and Tennessee. Inmates in these states get to choose their fate: death by electrocution or their prison's alternative methods. As the times continued to evolve, innovation soon brought about new ways to carry out the death penalty in a more humane way. By the 19th century, the gas chamber was introduced, soon followed by lethal injection. Sadly, the outcome of the gas chamber was just as gruesome as the electric chair. According to former San Quentin, California Penitentiary Clifton Duffy, and I quote, "At first there is evidence of extreme horror, pain, and strangling. The eyes pop, the skin turns purple, and the victim begins to drool. The inmate dies of hypoxia, which is the cutting off of oxygen to the brain. At this point, you can't help but think, are they ever going to satisfy the need for a more accepted outcome, something to make this sensitive situation a little more easier to swallow?" Well, in 1977, Texas adopted a new method of execution: lethal injection. This method has proven to be the most humane way so far. A concoction of 3 injections are administered. The first, putting the inmate to sleep; a second one paralyzes them; and the third one eventually stops the heart. Since 2010, every execution has been carried out by lethal injection. Finally, a more tolerated process. Will it last? Well, during my research, according to numerous articles, lethal injection drugs are hard to come by these days and is already causing controversy. Will we ever reach a day when there won't be a need for the death penalty? Well, with 31 states in favor of it, and looking back at our timeline, it doesn't seem like it, or at least not in our lifetime. Until that day comes, as society continues to evolve, I'm sure new ideas and new inventions will continue to take place as an effort to discover the newest and improved way to carry out the death penalty.